Listen, Happy New Year, Bestie. Let's talk about Christmas miracles and then read some slightly dark flash fiction on today's episode of the StoryPod podcast. Come on in, Bestie. Welcome to StoryPod, where we do the doing of story development together. Brought to you by Creative BFF. Well, Happy New Year, Bestie. At the time of recording, it is the first day of 2026. Listen, I hope that you had a wonderful New Year's Eve. I hope that you are recovering well if you got lit on New Year's Eve, and that you're able to enjoy this first day of the new year. I am very happy to be here with you today, and I wanted to start the new year off with something a little bit different. I've let you guys into my life sparingly, just a little bit here and there, mainly in creative areas, which this is not too far off of that beaten path. All right. Listen, I have to make sure I'm recording. This is not too far off of that beaten path, but I do want to, in this first part of the video, share a Christmas miracle and my favorite Christmas gift from 2025. And then in the second part of the video, I want to share a flash fiction that I wrote at the end of November and just neglected to share here. But before I do all of that, my name is Ashley. I am your creative BFF. You can reach me on Instagram at yourcreativebff.com, your_creative BFF, not .com, your_creative BFF. My website is yourcreativebff.com. No, it's creative BFF. Girl, get it together on this first day of the new year. It is creativebff.com. You can also email me at ash@creativebff.com. But all the information is down below. If you have any questions for your stories that I can maybe answer here on the podcast, like we do with like Reddit questions, or if you would like to hire me as a story coach, you can do so at the aforementioned links below. However, let's get into this. Now, I think that first I will share, in order for this to make sense, my favorite Christmas gift and the Christmas miracle. I do need to give you a little bit of backstory of what's been going on with me for the last, I want to say year and a half, but maybe even before that, maybe even longer than that. And I'll try not to belabor it, but I've already been talking for a cool minute. But when I was young, and I've mentioned some of this in maybe one or two podcasts before, but when I was young, I loved to draw. That was my favorite thing. That was my first love, drawing. I would come home from school and sit in my mom's chair in her bedroom and watch Ricky Lake and draw. So I just loved it. But then in my adulthood, after college, which I went to school for animation and studio arts, but after college, I was kind of trying to make fine art a career, occasionally taking commissions here and there, not heavily, because I never really enjoyed taking commissions. And then I did recently, in 2021, much later, after all of that, in 2021, I did take a commission with a friend of mine from church who had written a children's book, which is out now, by the way. It's called Carrot Sinclair Vegetable Adventurer. But anyway, so I took a commission doing the illustrations for that children's book. And the process of doing that, and it had nothing to do with my friend who hired me. He was wonderful and patient and gracious and kind, and I am so grateful for him. But it took me 3 years to do that children's book. Even though we were going basically from zero to finished book, so that meant we had to do, we had to design the character, figure out the style of the book, figure out how the backgrounds and just the style of the book outside of just the character design was going to look overall. And then, of course, thumbnailing all of the pages and and then doing the work, right? Through that though, and again, nothing having to do with the client, my friend who hired me, I struggled with a lot of perfectionism, a lot of stress about it because I wasn't sure if I was going to do well and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And after I finally finished the book, I made a push at the end of 2023 where I was like, I am not going to drag this project on any longer. I'm not going to take this project into 2024. So I just, grinded out the final pages of that book. And I was able to turn it in. Basically, I was able to give it to him probably, I think, January 1st. So 2 years ago today, I was able to give him the finished pages for that book. And since then, recently, within the last few months, the finished book is out. It's a hardcover. He did all of the rest of the page layout, like putting the text and everything in it. And looking at it now, I am kind of proud of it, but I do remember like how I wasn't sure if it was good or anything like that at the time. But after that, once I turned that book in from 2024, I was burnt out on art. I was burnt out on it. Again, not his fault, not the fault of the project. It was all me and how I was trying to, make art a career, make money for me and things like that. And it just killed the love that I had for it. And I just didn't want to touch art for a long time. I was just burnt out. And that has gone on for quite some time. And I remember it might have been at the beginning of this year. I'm not sure. My aunt was working on a book that she wanted to self-publish, and she was suggesting that perhaps I could do the artwork for it. And I told her that I don't do art anymore. And when I said that, I hurt my own feelings. It was like I stabbed myself in the chest. And I was like, I do not want that to be the truth. So I started praying. I'm Christian, by the way. So I was praying and asking the Lord to help me get my love of art back. And it didn't return immediately. I would try to draw here and there very sparingly, and it just felt hard. I just didn't feel like anything I was doing was good. I didn't enjoy the process of drawing anymore. And there was an issue, and one of the issues that I had been dealing with for years regarding my art. Like, I can do realistic drawing, realism, and all that kind of stuff. But developing an illustrative style that wasn't, maybe I could use if I was doing character designs, or if I just wanted to do a comic or something like that, that I didn't want to be necessarily specifically fine art realism, had eluded me. I wasn't able to ever develop anything that I felt was both organic and quote unquote unique. I don't know if there's anything really, any styles that are really 100% unique. But something that felt natural and genuine to myself and the way I drew, but also that I liked the look of and that I felt confident in and that I felt like maybe other people would like as well. And I never was able to figure anything out. So that was part of my prayer. It's like, I would like to develop a style and everything that comes along with that, just for illustration and things like that. So I was praying. I've been praying about it. It didn't really happen for me for a long time. So like I said, that me saying that I don't draw anymore maybe happened at the beginning of this year. It might have been the end of, not this year, the beginning of 2025. It might have been the end of 2024. And that was my refrain. Whenever anybody asked me to do any kind of art, I was just like, I don't draw anymore. And then when I got my mind around, I don't want that to be the story of my art, where so I stopped drawing and I just never drew again. But even though I didn't want that to be my story, I decided that if I ever did draw again, I would never again draw for anybody else. It would just be something that I did for myself. I would never try to make money from drawing. I wouldn't be taking any commissions or anything like that. Like if I draw, it's just for myself and that's it. I haven't totally let go of that, but actually maybe I have because anyway, I'm trying not to skip ahead. Let me not skip ahead. So, fast forward to the past few months, up to maybe like November or so, I maybe sketched one or two sketches that I was like, okay, I kind of like this. That was kind of nice to do. It was more realistic, more realism than anything else. But I was like, okay, this is kind of nice to be drawing again. All right. And then in November, a number of projects and clients reached out to me, new clients, people that I knew, but one is an educator who is developing a children's series of books. Another is a small company that it's basically like a startup, and they're doing things like making a video game and a children's book and things like that. And they needed an additional artist to come in, and also somebody who does story development. And then another was a client that I had started working with in August. We took a long break because of his work commitments. And then he reached out to me again in November, ready to kind of re-engage. And even though I am helping him primarily under Creative BFF as a story coach for his, just getting his whole story together, he did mention that because he knows that I draw, he's seen my art, that he would like me to potentially do some character designs for it, even though he knows that I had decided not to draw anymore. And with that particular client, in one of our meetings, I told him that I kind of had been sort of trying to get my hand back in art and things like that. For the startup, I did do a little bit of character design things for them, just a little bit, some draw overs and stuff, nothing heavy. There's going to be a little bit of animation and whatever for that project. But he said something that kind of like shooketh me a little bit. He said that me declaring that I no longer was going to draw, that I just no longer drew, was basically like grieving the Holy Spirit because it was a gift that the Lord had given me. And I was like, I never thought of it that way. So at the end of that meeting, he prayed for me, which was very wonderful. And from that point on, and this has literally been maybe the last 2 weeks, probably the week before Christmas, and flowing from that point, the art has just been bop, 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 bop. It's been coming back. I have been enjoying it so much. I've literally been spending all of my free time drawing. I feel like I have another level of understanding of certain things in how to draw. I feel like the illustrative style that I had been so unsuccessful for in developing for years, I feel like I'm starting to have a style that I like. Things that were hard for me, and this was literally just yesterday and today. Hands have always been so hard. I just could not understand how to do the structure of hands. And because I didn't like drawing hands, I never really took the time to sit down and try to figure it out. But I feel like in the span of one day of drawing that I understand it. And I drew the best page of hands that I've ever drawn. And I actually am enjoying drawing hands, which is insane to me because they were always like a necessity. My favorite thing would be like the face, then the body, and then the hands are just like an afterthought. Hands and feet, like, I don't really want to draw those things, but let me just kind of put some marks in here so it doesn't look like it's an unfinished drawing. But I actually am loving drawing hands, which is so crazy to me. So as I've been going through this process, on Christmas Eve, I was drawing and I was enjoying it. And I was just thanking the Lord because it really felt like a gift. It felt like he gave me a gift of my art back. The love of art that I had when I was a child, when I was first falling in love with drawing, I feel like I have that same love for it again. And I haven't felt that for years. I want to say maybe like a decade. Like the way that I'm feeling it now, I don't feel like I felt it since I was going into college, and then embarking on the journey of trying to make art a career for myself. And I was just so grateful for it. And I was thanking the Lord. And I was at my job, my 9 to 5, okay? Because we have to survive and thrive in 2025, okay? Anyway, so I was at my job, just thanking the Lord for returning my love of art and thanking him because it felt like a Christmas gift. As I was leaving that day, I got an Instagram message from one of my cousins on my father's side. And my father passed away when I was 17. He was an artist. My mother is also an artist, so I come by it naturally. And she sent me a message, and I wasn't going to check it immediately, but she was like, "OMG, Ashley, look at what I found." And so I'm sitting in the car, and I was like, well, let me see what she's talking about before I head out. And she found a pastel drawing for sale that my father did in 1982, before I was born, years before I was born, in 1982, signed by him, being sold by an art, what are they called? An art dealer, basically, out of Florida. And it was a piece that nobody in our family had seen before, at least on my side. And I was shooketh. She said that she didn't know how she even came across this. It was insane. I was like, this is literally a Christmas miracle. A Christmas miracle that a drawing that my father did before I was born was being sold. So of course I bought it immediately. And I still don't know the full message that the Lord might be telling me in this. But at the very least, I'm like, thank you, Lord, that on the day and at the time of year when you are restoring my love of art as a gift, in answer to prayer, and answering prayers that I had been praying for years regarding my art so quickly, like just crazy. And then this confirmation of my father's picture, my father's drawing. I don't know if there's a deeper message to this, but thank you for that. And I want to show you guys his, see if I can show it to you here on screen. This is, boop. That's my father's drawing from 1982. And of course I'm going to hang it up and display it in my house, okay? But what a blessing. And so the Christmas miracle is the discovery of this artwork of my father's. And then my favorite Christmas gift is the return of the love of art, accompanied with feeling like I can do it, feeling like it's good, feeling like I'm creating things that I actually feel like look good, feeling like I'm making progress in this area. And then also just enjoying the process. Like there's an ease to it now that hasn't been there for years. And so that is my Christmas miracle and the favorite Christmas gift that I've gotten this in 2025, not this year anymore, 2025. And if you've watched the video this far, thank you, because I know this is not usually what I do, and I don't expect that this video will do very well. But that's okay. I mean, none of my videos do very well. You know what? We have a very small, cute, tight-knit little community here. Do we? Are we creating a community here? I don't know. Perhaps we shall in time all become friends. Here, we already are friends, but like get close. So that is the first half of this video, my Christmas miracle and my favorite Christmas gift. And now we're going to switch gears a little bit. So there is kind of like something story related And I'm going to read to you the flash fiction, or the very short fiction that I wrote, which I was doing for a period. I do want to come back to doing these short fictions, but after I wrote this, that's when the clients started coming back or reaching out. And so I haven't really had time with my normal schedule, my work, the things that I do outside of work that are part of, living my life, as well as now getting art back. I'm just kind of like really going with the flow of, let me just draw because I feel like drawing and I haven't felt like drawing for a long time. So let me just press into that. I do plan on going back to writing these short stories though. But yeah, so this I started on November 26th and I finished it on December 2nd. And that's when everything started popping off after that. So now I'm going to read this short fiction to you, and I will wish you a very happy and blessed 2026. As though I'm not going to like sign off after this. But yeah, let's go ahead and switch to the screen. All right. Let me get in the zone of reading this. I haven't read to you guys in a while. I don't know. Maybe I'll be out of practice, but here we go. Second Son. We were wind-tossed and travel-weary when it finally appeared. The second sunrise. It was a false, unnatural thing, a blight and a sign of judgment. But it, as did so many unclean emanations, had its worshippers. It rose over a field of their corpses, locked in positions of eternal devotion, cresting the jagged obelisk and framed within its inverted arch. The impossibility of our mission, destroy the obelisk, capture the emanation that inhabited it, weighed heavy upon us. We moved toward the structure, and a scratching crept along the barren waste like dead leaves carried on a breeze. It built into an ecstasy of chanting, voices which had not reached a human ear in millennia. All of our bravado died within us. The plan was simple to the point of absurdity. Light the hellburst at the base of the obelisk, quickly retreat to the safety of the storm that carried us like a wave to the accursed place. Collect samples of the debris, secure what the priests called the heart to which the emanation was bound. Bring the whole lot back for study, straightforward, easy even. The dead men's chorus pushed us forward with unseen hands. We didn't resist, and suddenly we were before the obelisk. From a distance, it appeared to be intricately carved obsidian stone. Close enough to touch, its true nature was emptiness, the very essence of void and dark. I felt a strange sensation, a buzz where my head and neck met, peering into that breach in reality. Then all was silent, all was peace. But too soon, rough hands were dragging me away and tearing me from my cocoon. I may have screamed when the hellburst exploded, my voice joining with the shrieking ghosts and the chaotic winds of the storm. When it settled, we emerged from the windstorm. At first, all we saw was ash and rubble. No obelisk cut into the sky, which still glowed a hazy orange, though there was no sun. Relief infused the choked laughter of my comrades. We had succeeded. I was bereft. Empty as the obelisk that lay in ruins across the plain. As they gathered pieces of the fallen monument, a small glimmer sparked from the crater at the epicenter of the blast. They didn't notice, or perhaps visions of home and hearth stole their memory of the second part of the directive. I couldn't feel the ground beneath my feet as I drew near. I heard no sound except my own ragged breathing. Soon I stood at the edge of the pit. Curled in the center was a woman, the heart. She was delicate, exquisite in her fragility. She unfolded as though waking from an afternoon nap and stared at me. Without words, her light invited me into her presence. Her person shone with the same dim glow as the destroyed sun, but her eyes, unusually large in her elegant face, were pools of black, the very nothingness of the obelisk. Time was not. I consumed and was consumed by that void until I felt tears streaming down my face, slipping into my smile. Then those eyes closed, severing my connection to eternity, and everything became clear. Suddenly I held a shard of obsidian. It cut into my palm, drawing blood as I destroyed that fragile body. Then, still covered in gore, I was cradled, swaddled in the presence of the emanation. I had been given birth. I crawled out of the pit, squawking like a newborn, blind yet all-seeing as the emanation gave me sight. My comrades screamed, but all I heard was worship. And the sun again rose. That's it. That is the short story. Kind of dark. It got darker as I wrote it. You let me know if you have gotten this far into the video, which is the end of the video for this week. If you have any interpretations of that, listen, is that self-serving for me to ask that? Maybe, you can let me know what you think. We're still practicing out here. We're still learning. That might be a little bit wordy. I'm, still working out like how wordy do I want to be as I write. I like to wordsmith. I like to put a lot of words in there. And I'm kind of like, let me trim some of this fat a little bit. You know what I'm saying, girl? But anyway, listen, I again wish you a very happy, blessed, prosperous, and productive 2026. Let's get it this year, ladies and gents, okay? And I hope that you and your family are enjoying a peaceful January 1st, January 2nd, when you are watching this, or perhaps whenever you may see this, maybe years in the future in a time capsule somewhere, buried beneath the rubble of our society. No, let's not be bleak. We can have a good year. Anyway, let me get off of here because I'm a little bit delirious. I do want to get back to drawing some. I do want to play a little bit of video games, okay? Because I'm off today, girl, all right? And I love you. And listen, I will see you next Friday, okay? Back to business as usual. Also, let me know what you got for Christmas. What was your favorite gift? What are you hoping for in 2026? Are you making New Year's resolutions? Or are you just continuing the same grind because you've already been about that life since 2025? All right. Whatever the answer may be, we love to hear it. And I love you. And have a great rest of your day. See you next week.